Hello and welcome to a short series of videos on time value of money, or TVM. Let's begin with future value.
Okay, so let's get started with a simple question. What would you prefer? A, $10,000 today, or B, $10,000 in 1 year? I really hope that all of you are choosing A. Naturally, you already know a lot about finance. There's some kind of value in time. And actually, number two, in order to entice you, the future value of this number here in 1 year has to be bigger than what it is today to make you take option B. Alternatively, we could say that the future value or present value has to be smaller than the future value, which is actually stating the same thing. Now, how about this one? What would you prefer in this case? In other words, is this $950 enough to entice you to wait 2 years for it? Oh boy, well, that is precisely what this chapter is going to cover. So hopefully you're going to get an answer for this question, or your own answer for this question, at the end of the module. Okay, so let's get started with the simple question that we got on the slides. So what is the future value of an initial $100 after 3 years if the interest rate is 4%? We talked about timelines, the way we define it. In this case, we're talking about a lump sum. We have $100 today, and we want to know how much that's going to be in 3 years, in 3 periods. The interest rate, 4%, is the same for every period. Notice that there's no additional payment in this time or in this time. We just want to know $100, how much is it all the way in 3 years. It's a couple of ways of doing it. One is like the step by step. We can stack the $100 taken 1 year simply by multiplying them by 1.04, which is 1 plus the interest rate. Interest rate was 4%, so this gives us 104. At the end of year 1, we have $104. We take those back to the bank and we reinvest them for another year, and that result gives us 108.16 and not just 108. Why? Because the compounding value of interest. So the formula for 2 years would be, well, $100 originally times 1.04, which is the interest rate, but you notice that the interest is raised to the second power, or in the third case, third year, is raised to the third power. And this allows for the compounding and not just simply 104, 108, and 112. The general case then is the future value in n years, could be 5, could be 10, is the present value times 1 plus I, or the interest rate, to the n power, which could be those 5 or those 10. When we do this in a calculator, which probably we're not going to use too much in our class, we have 5 variables, 4 unknown, and we're going to ask for the 5th one. In this case, we know the n, or the periods, are 3. We know the interest rate is 4. We know that the present value is 100. We mentioned there are going to be 0 payments or 0 cash flows during those years, and the answer is 112. One thing to note here is that this present value was entered negative. We're going to do the same thing in Excel. What we're trying to show here is that in order for you to get $100 or something positive in 3 years, you're supposed to save or part with $100 today. So negative today means positive tomorrow. You invest today in order to get back tomorrow. Okay, so next video we'll see the same thing but in Excel. I'll see you soon.